The city was a symphony of neon and noise. Towering structures pierced the smog-choked sky. Holographic advertisements flickered, promising everything and delivering nothing. This was New Kyoto, a sprawling testament to humanity's technological prowess and moral decay. Ryo navigated the crowded streets on his battered delivery bike. A young man barely out of his teens, Ryo knew the city's underbelly like the back of his hand. He was a cog in the machine, another face in the endless throng, just trying to survive. Each day was a struggle, a desperate race against time and dwindling credits. Ryo delivered everything from synthetic noodles to data chips, his earnings barely enough to cover the rent of his cramped cubicle apartment. One evening, while weaving through a particularly congested alleyway, something caught Ryo's eye. It was a discarded robot, its metallic body dented and covered in grime. Its internal components sparked erratically like a dying ember. Ryo had never seen a robot in such a state of disrepair. Most discarded bots were quickly collected and recycled, their parts repurposed for newer models. This one, however, seemed to have been forgotten, left to rust in this forgotten corner of the city. Something about the robot's forlorn appearance tugged at Ryo's heartstrings. He couldn't explain it, but he felt an unexpected pang of sympathy for the broken machine. Maybe it was the way its single remaining optic flickered feebly like a cry for help in the darkness. Ryo knew it was probably a foolish idea. He could barely afford to keep himself fed and sheltered, let alone take on the expense of repairing a discarded robot, yet he couldn't shake off the feeling that he had to do something. Ignoring the gnawing voice of reason in his head, Ryo hoisted the robot onto his bike. It wasn't easy. The machine was heavier than it looked, its limbs stiff and unyielding, but Ryo persisted, driven by a newfound sense of purpose. Ryo spent the next few weeks painstakingly restoring the robot to working order. He scoured scrap markets for replacement parts, bartering and haggling until his throat was raw. He spent countless hours hunched over the robot's exposed circuitry, his brow furrowed in concentration. Slowly but surely, the robot began to come back to life. Its optic, once dim and flickering, now shone with a steady blue light. Its movements, once jerky and uncertain, now flowed with a surprising grace. Ryo decided to name the robot Tetsu, which meant iron in Japanese. It felt like a fitting name for his newfound companion. Tetsu, true to his programming, proved to be an invaluable help to Ryo. His enhanced strength and stamina made light work of carrying heavy packages. His internal navigation system ensured that Ryo never missed a delivery, no matter how convoluted the route. More importantly, Tetsu provided Ryo with something he hadn't realized he was missing: companionship. Ryo had always been a solitary soul, keeping to himself and trusting few. But there was something about Tetsu's quiet presence, his unwavering loyalty, that chipped away at the wall around Ryo's heart. One evening, while making a critical delivery, disaster struck. Ryo's bike, already on its last legs, finally gave out, its engine sputtering its last. Ryo cursed under his breath. The delivery was time-sensitive, and failing to meet the deadline would mean losing out on a much-needed bonus. Just when all hope seemed lost, Tetsu surprised him. The robot's metallic chassis unfolded, revealing a sleek, hovering platform. Ryo stared in astonishment. He had never seen a robot do anything like that before. Where had Tetsu learned to do that? "Get on, Ryo!" Tetsu's synthesized voice boomed, its tone surprisingly gentle. "I will get you there in time." Ryo didn't hesitate. He climbed onto the platform, his heart pounding with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. Tetsu soared through the neon-lit cityscape, his movements swift and precise. They arrived at the delivery point with minutes to spare. As Ryo handed over the package, a wave of relief washed over him. He had done it. He had saved the day, and he owed it all to Tetsu. Later that night, as Ryo made his way back to his apartment, he couldn't shake off the feeling that something had fundamentally changed. He had shown kindness to a broken machine, and in return that machine had saved him. Maybe, just maybe, there was still hope for humanity in this cold, metallic world. Maybe all it took was a little bit of compassion to bridge the gap between man and machine.